This conference will now
Oh,
be recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
okay. So just a recap about yesterday class, guys. What we have discussed. We have discussed about a few other things like how to create a Salesforce free org and how we can log in. What is the classic view? What is the lightning view? And so header panel. All these things we have discussed yesterday class, right? So how to log in? Either you can Google search it like so login Salesforce like that. You can get it. Otherwise, the login.salesforce.com. So that is the login URL, and you can provide your username and you can provide your password to logging into this app. Now it will redirect you. So Salesforce org. Okay. So next. So this is the header panel. So that's what yesterday discussed. And in this header panel, what we have seen, this is the global search used to search the data. Data means right now you can think like so it's a customer information like that. Okay. So going forward, you will get to know what is data. And next, so this link is used to switch from so classic to lightning so view. And this is a user details, so logged in user details like Facebook accounts, like other accounts, right? We can see our own details. Okay, and we can update our details like email and phone number and address, like that, all kind of so details we can update over here. And next, this is a developer console, so which is used to like to implement code. Okay, to write the code from here, so we can use this developer console. And from here also we can move to lightning experience, and from here we can log out. And next, so this is the setup. So by using this setup, what we can do is, so we can do all configuration kind of things and everything. So all features we can see. So if you click on the setup, okay, so with all these features, okay, we can work in real time. The next, help is used to to search the documents and to get a Salesforce support. All these kind of things we can do. And next, this is an app. So app menu, and so these are the standard apps given by Salesforce, and we can use, any app to control the tab here. Okay, tabs. So tabs mean it is a tab section, and these are the tabs. So generally, what is the benefit of the tab right now? So we can store the customer information by using the tabs. So just now you can remember like that. Going forward, you will get to know everything. Okay, and to show or hide the tabs, we can go to plus symbol and customize my tabs, and based on the applications we can do everything. Okay, so this is all we discussed in our yesterday class, guys. And now in today class, what we are going to see is objects. Okay, so very important, what is object? And these are the things we are going to see. Tab. Okay, now I think everyone know about the Excel sheet, I hope, right? You can see over here. So this is the Excel sheet, and so I'm just assuming everyone know about the Excel sheet. And suppose, let's see, this is a business. Think about this business like so we are providing Salesforce training by taking some amount of money so from you. Okay, and generally institute people's, right? So they will store your details. Am I right or wrong? Okay, so what we can do is we can store your details in Excel sheet. And now how we can store is like, let me show you. Like suppose here I can create a tab. So think about student. Okay, and so we can store our details like student name and city, phone number, email, address and bank details or whatever it may be, just and is fees paid. So which course you joined, course, okay, for which course you joined, batch. See here, like that we will store all the details, okay. And so here what we can do is, so we can update our details over here. So let's say, so take Usha or Shankar, just I'm just giving to them Usha. So city, let's say Hyderabad, phone number, some dummy number, okay. Usha @gmail.com, dummy address, some dummy address, no, 11th batch, okay. So so like this, other user details also we can store. It's a dummy details, okay. Next Shankar, Bangalore, and some dummy number, dummy email. So but in real time what will happen, so they will receptionist, right, so they will store our details. Okay, so generally what will happen, so they will store our details like this. Now, so let's see guys. So suppose if you enroll your contact details, if you enroll your course, right, so institute receptionist they will store your details like this, okay. Now let's see, generally, so what we can call it as, this is what, tab, right. Generally this is a tab, okay. And these are called what, student, we can call it as a tab. And these are what guys, rows, okay. Row 1, row 2, row 3, like that, okay. This is a row 1, row 2, rows we are calling as, okay. So what are these details, student details are nothing but rows here. This is one student detail, Usha, so details, Usha student details, so Usha's row, this one we can call it as row. And this is Shankar details, we can call it as Shankar row. So that means these are called rows, okay. Now these are called what, name, city, phone, email, all these are called what, columns, okay. These are columns. So now let's see, if you compare with Salesforce, this is the Excel sheet, Now I want to compare these details with. So now what I want to do is I want to store all these details in Salesforce. Now, so suppose think my institute, right? VLR institute, they want to use Salesforce application. Okay, and instead of Excel sheet, they want to use Salesforce application, and so they want to store these customers. I mean, you are the customers, right? Student details. So how we are going to store your details in Salesforce? How we are going to store? So now in Salesforce, here it is a tab, right? So in Salesforce also we have called object. Okay, so first what we need to do is first we need to create a object. Okay, so we need to create an object to store all these details. Okay, next we have tab again. Okay, and next rows are called as records. Okay, next columns are called as fields. So generally first we need to create an object. Here a student tab, right? Tab is used to store all these details, right? Same way in Salesforce we have an object. Object is used to store any fields. Okay, anything. And here it is a tab. Because of the tab we are storing all these details, right? Same way in Salesforce also tab is there, and here we are calling as a rows, right? Same way in Salesforce we are calling as a records. Okay, and here we are calling as a columns. Same way in Salesforce we are calling as a fields. Okay, these are the four things now you are going to see. So first what I need to do is I need to create an object first. Okay, so how to create an object? Create object. So navigations. What is the navigation? So I mentioned, right? Anything if you want to do, anything if you want to do, any configuration things or anything if you want to do, first you need to go to setup. Okay. However, right now you are in, so you are seeing these features, right? So if you don't see the features, think you are in this tab like that. Okay, now you have not seen any features, so you need to click on the setup. So now you are seeing all the features. So from here what you need to create an object. So directly you can search object. It is a feature, and here so many objects are there. Object milestones, so topics for objects, big objects, external objects, like that. So what object you need to do is you need to use only this object, plain object. Okay, don't go for any big objects, external objects, like that. So under create you can see the objects, right? Click on this one. Okay, now you are seeing, so custom objects. Going forward you will get to know what is the custom object, what is the standard object, and everything. First what you need to learn is what is object and how to create it simply. Okay, new custom object. So click on the button. Now you can see, so this is the page where you can provide some information and finally save it so that the object will be created. Okay, now label. So provide the label. So what object I want to create? A student object. Okay, guys, mute yourself, some echo is coming. Okay, student object. So go here, student. And what is the plural label for student? Students. Next, so here I will explain, guys. It's a label, plural label, and it is not started with vowel sound, right? A-E-I-O-U, it is a vowel sound, so uncheck it. And object name is student name, and so you don't need to provide everything, guys. Okay, you don't need to provide everything. This description, leave it. Three values are there, so like that. Next, so forget about all other things, and leave it. You can leave it, everything you can leave it. Come down and save it, don't do anything. Okay, so all these features, right? Slowly I will explain. Instead of explaining everything at a time, I will explain step by step so that you can easily understand and remember. Okay, now save it. So now that's it. I have provided only one label name and object name, so that Salesforce is created one object. It is a custom object. Name is a student name, and these are the object details. So label name is a student, and object name is a student. API name. Generally, what is this API name? What is this label name? Two things are there. They have their own benefits. Okay. So now how to create object? So go to setup, search for objects, create a custom object, provide label name, object. That's it. Okay, that's it. Next step. So label name, and you need to know the benefit of the label name and API name. So right now what you need to do is label name is used to display. Okay, so to display means so you can view that label name with your eyes. So where I will show you going forward. And API name used in coding. Simply you can remember in coding. Simply, okay. Going forward you will get to know. So what is the real benefit of the API name? Okay. In coding only you can use this API name. So this one going forward you can see. So in coding generally you can use this one, and in admin part also, and few of the features right there we can use it. And now you can see here lot of other things. I have asked you to skip a few of the things, right? Those details are given below here. And so that's it. This is the object, and forget about all these things. This is the page. Don't go through one by one. So one by one I will explain you going forward. Now what I need to do, I have created an object. Okay, I have created an object. Done. Good. What is my next step? To display the data, to enter all these details. What is my next step? My next step is tab. I need to create a tab like this. I have created an object and I need to create a tab like this. So where is the tab? How to create a tab? Next step. So again setup. However, you are already seeing these features, right? If you are already seeing these features, that means you have already clicked the setup. You don't need to click the setup. Okay. So suppose you are in some other page. Now you can see. So you can't see the features left side. So you need to click on the setup in that situation and go here. You can see all the features. Okay. And search for tabs, and you can see here under create you can see the tabs. So you need to click on the tabs and come down. You can see so custom tabs. Under that you are seeing 5 sections, right? What you need to do is just now you have created a custom object. Okay, that means object tabs. So you need to click on this new button. You should not go for these below tabs. Okay, so click on the first new button. And guys, one more thing I would like to say. So if anyone is trying to write the notes, right, please stop writing the notes. Okay, you do not write the notes in this class itself. Just listen carefully, and however you will get a recording session, right? So in second time when you are watching, at that time you can so write the notes. Okay, just so this is the technique, guys. Listening techniques also there. In school days you might be writing all these kind of things, right? But uh, in reality that is not a good. The good thing is just listen carefully, understand it, and the second time you can write the notes, so that you can remember easily. Object. So now where are you? So I am in here custom object tab. So come down, and object you can see, you can select only one object. So this is what drop down. we know it's a drop down. Going forward, we will see the original technical name, but right now you can call it as a drop down. If you click on this one, so in this box you can see a lot of options. Okay, select object name which you have created just now. What is the object name? Student object I have created. And tab style, so you can remember the tab style, what style I have given, like leaf color I have given. Select the color, leaf color, remember, and forget about all these kind of things. Okay, so remember the color and click on the next. And now you can see different sections, all this, right? So please don't think about these sections. These are separate topics again. Okay, so profile is a separate topic. At that time you will get to know, but until then what you can do is skip this one. So skip means don't think anything about these pages. Click on next. Again this one also next. Don't think about this custom apps. So once the topic is completed, at that time I will come back and I will explain this one also. And click on save button. That's it. Okay, so now you have created a custom object tab, so you can see the tab here. Okay, so now you can see the tab means generally it will display over here, right? As I mentioned in yesterday class also, these are all the tabs. So whenever you have added the tab, automatically it is displaying here. Okay, under service, or if you want to move to sales, there also it will be displayed. Okay, you can see here and click on it. Any click on it, guys, mute. So now you can see the color. So this color I asked you to remember, right? Leaf color I have selected when I'm creating a tab. Okay, so you can go to setup and go to tabs and click on the tabs. Again you can see leaf color. Okay, for this student object you have selected leaf color, so that is the color, so which is highlighting when you click on the tab. Okay, now two steps are completed. We have created an object, and for that object we have created a tab. And next step is what? So rows. These rows we need to create it, right? So that means let's see how to create a row, single row. For one person details, how I want to store in Salesforce. Suppose now reception want to store OSHA details. Okay, as of now OSHA details are available only in Excel sheet. Now they want to store in Salesforce. How? So here they need to click on the tab, and after that one they need to click on the new button. So click on the new button, and now you can see student name. So here, so student name means you can see when you compare with, so these are right. What are these columns? See here name, here student name is there. Okay, so these are the columns, right? In Salesforce we are calling as a fields. This is the field, this is the value. Okay, so now first value is what? OSHA. And so these details, right, I will explain going forward. Generally these are the standard field and standard value. So within 2 to 3 days you will get to know everything, guys. Until then you might get half of knowledge. Okay, once this object concept is everything is completed, then so you will get to know all these things. Okay, that's it. So institute receptions, they have stored your details like this. So student name is OSHA, and once it is saved, so all these three fields came, right? Owner, last modified by, created by. So who created all these? By default Salesforce created all these fields. Okay, so this is what now left side called a field, guys. Okay, so here we are calling as a column, right? But in Salesforce we are calling as a field. So this is the field. Okay, this is the field, left side field, right side value, field value, field value. Okay, and this is a OSHA record, one record. Okay, so next, so they want to create one more record, Shankar. Let's see. So they need to click on students and click on new button, and they can enter Shankar. You can see here what is the field name? Student name. Under name only, so we are storing Shankar. Okay, and save it. And now you can see these three field values are given by Salesforce. Okay, name Shankar and field values. So now click on the students tab. Now you can see here. Okay, let's compare with so Excel sheet. Okay, when you compare with Excel sheet, now you can see this tab is nothing but here this tab, student tab. Okay, so what is the tab benefit? You can use to store the so rows in Excel sheet. Okay, and in Salesforce the tab benefit is so used to store the records. So now it is one row, right, in Excel sheet. And if you compare with Salesforce, this is one record, Shankar is one record, and this is like, and this is Osha's record, and this is Osha's record, and this is Osha's row. Okay, and so tab is nothing but a tab. And the fields, if you want to compare, so this is one field and this is a value, this is another field value. It's like you can see here, column value, city is the column and Hyderabad is the value. And like that same way, so phone is the column, and for this is the value, email is the column and this is the value. Same way, so here in Salesforce we can call it as a field and value, field value, field value, field value, like that. Okay, and now few people will might get confused, what is the difference between the tab and the object? Now object is like a entity, that means what? So with object only you can do anything. Like if I can say, so let's say when you compare with a building, like constructing building, so if you want to construct a building, generally at first what you need, space you need. The space is nothing but an object. Think in that way, the space is nothing but an object. If you have space, then only you can construct a building, otherwise you cannot construct a building. Okay, so same way in Salesforce also, first it is object. Object is nothing but a space, think in that way. And so within that space we can construct a building, so in that building only we are living. Okay, so same way building is nothing but a tab. With the help of tab we can create okay, all these records. With the help of tab we can create a records. So same way in the building only, so people are living. Okay, so same way here also. So object, tab, fields, these three things you need to remember. Now so let's go back again. And so how to create an object? Let's go to setup, search for objects, go to plane. I'm just recapping on this. So here you can see I have created one object, so click on the link. And now see a lot of other details also there, just forget for time being. Okay, so one by one we will see going forward. What you need to know is just this is the object which I have created. Okay, now I have a space. Okay, and I have, now let's go here. You might have one more question, where I have created the fields. These fields, so you might ask the question, I have not created, but who created these fields? By default Salesforce created all these four fields. By default when you are creating an object, so Salesforce created all those four fields. You can see here standard fields, these are all the fields created by Salesforce. That is the reason all four fields are displaying over here, field value field. Okay, fields. Okay, now we have object and fields. And what is the next thing? And if I want to add the data, or if I want to create the records, definitely I need to have a tab. Without a tab I cannot create records for time being. But in real time going forward we can create a tab, I mean records, by using development, by using some other okay features, we can so insert the data. But for now we can use the tab to insert the records. That means we can insert the data. Data or records both are same. Okay, data or records both are same. Now this is called data. Records are data. Yesterday some people asked, right, what is the data? Record is nothing but a data. Okay, this is one data. Whose data? Shankar data. Okay, and now just tab is used to create the records, to update the records. Only for that purpose we can use tab, and these fields are created by Salesforce. And our next goal is we can create all these remaining fields and we can enter so these details. Okay, in our next step we are going to see all these kind of things, but for time being now you can ask any questions if you have.
I have
Only
a
related to
question.
this topic. Yeah.
Uh, can't we create a tab and create object?
No. So let's see, I mentioned, right, tab is like a building. Think you can compare like that. Okay, and can you create a building in space? No, right? You should have a space at least. Okay, the space is nothing but an object. Without space you cannot create a building, you cannot construct a building. Same way, without object you cannot create a tab. Did you get it?
Yes.
So if you want to create a tab, you must create an object first. And you can observe one more point. While creating a new tab, here it is asking which object. It's the same way, like so like I want to construct a building. Generally I need to check where I need to construct a building, which place. The place is nothing but an object. Okay, without object you can't create a building, I mean sorry, you can't create a tab. Clear?
Yes. Yes. I asked this question just because uh, this object seems to be inside the tab, right?
Objects fields inside the
Seems
tab.
to, yeah. See, we are creating a tab like student. So, right here, here there is a student here, students tab.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So inside the tab, there is a object.
No, inside the tab there is no object. Tab is a tab, just it is a user interface to display all these details.
Okay.
Okay, it is just a user interface, a medium to display the data. That's it. Inside the
Okay. Got
tab is nothing. Okay, inside the tab just you are creating the records.
the
You can
records.
see
Okay.
here inside the tab, here what you are doing, inserting the rows. Same way, inside that it is used just to display. Okay, they have done some kind of coding in the back end to fetch all the fields, and so that you are entering the data.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Just it is a medium, guys. Tab, student, any tab is a medium to store the information, records, to create the records. But in reality what will happen, you have stored all these details here, right, in the back end. Like you don't know, right, back end. Suppose back end like SQL, who know already know, right, SQL, all these kind of data, Oracle data. What will happen, all these records and everything will be stored in the database, cloud database, and that cloud database will be stored in cloud server. Okay, and if you compare with the object in Salesforce, right, so with SQL it is a table, object is a table, guys. If you compare with SQL, object is a table. Okay, it is a table or entity used to store.
Mohan garu, invite his voice.
Mohan, we can't hear you.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Mute yourself, guys.
Sir,
Okay.
sir, ఒక చిన్న డౌట్ సార్.
Yeah, Adi.
సార్ మోహన్ సార్, ఒక చిన్న మీరు
Aduga,
స్టూడెంట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసిన తర్వాత ట్యాబ్ క్రియేట్ చేశారు కదా.
అవును.
ఇప్పుడు మళ్ళీ మీరు స్టూడెంట్ నేమ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ నేమ్ ని కస్టమర్ గా మారిస్తే ట్యాబ్ కూడా మారిపోతుందా?
ఆబ్జెక్ట్ నేమ్ ని మారదు. ఓకే, సో నేను చెప్తాను ఈ ట్యాబ్ నేమ్ ఎక్కడి నుంచి వస్తుందో చెప్తాను. అది ఓకే, లేబుల్ నేమ్ ఉంది కదా, ప్లూరల్ లేబుల్ నేమ్ ఇక్కడి నుంచి వస్తుంది యాక్చువల్ గా. అది చెప్తాను.
ఓకే సార్, అక్కడ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ డీటెయిల్స్ పేజ్ లో క్రియేటెడ్ బై ఉంది కదా, క్రియేటెడ్ బై, మాడిఫైడ్ బై అని టైం పడుతుంది చూసారా, అది మీ సిస్టమ్ టైమే కదా?
అవును,
టైం ఉంది కదా 7:26 అని, బట్ నాకు సిస్టమ్ టైం రావట్లేదు, డిఫాల్ట్ వేరే టైం మీద వస్తుంది.
వేరే టైం చేంజ్ చేసుకోవాలా? యూజర్ టైం అది. ఓకే, నీ యూజర్ యుఎస్ టైం జోన్ లో ఉందా, ఇండియా టైం జోన్ లో ఉందో, ఫస్ట్ లో క్రియేట్ చేసేటప్పుడు నేను నిన్న క్లాస్ లో చూపించాను చూసావా, ఇక్కడికి వెళ్ళి నీ టైం అప్డేట్ చేసుకో, మై సెట్టింగ్స్ లోకి వెళ్ళి అక్కడ అప్డేట్ చేసుకొని నీకు కనబడదు ప్రాపర్.
అవును సార్. ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
ఇండియా టైం జోన్ అక్కడ చూసుకో. Ultimately, guys, yeah, so now, right, generally you will get half of knowledge only. So some people will think, right, so I'm not getting full points. Generally, yes, you should not get full points at this situation, guys. You might have a doubts. Okay, definitely you might have a doubts, but after 3 days or 2 days, so every doubt will be cleared, because so we are starting now, and we are going through one by one. Once all these object related topics are completed, like custom objects, standard objects, custom fields, standard fields, everything is completed, then only you will get a clear picture. Until then you can have half of knowledge. Okay, and any other doubts right now? But whatever doubts you have right now are going to be cleared after 2 days, 3 to 4 classes after you, so all those doubts will be cleared. Okay, so now come to the point. If you don't have any questions, let's see. Simply you can remember object is a space where we can use to store the fields and values simply. So okay, and we are storing all these details in the object only, not in the tab just is a medium. Okay, so just use it to store the data, just it is a medium, that's it. We are not storing the data in the tabs, but we are storing the data by using the tabs. In the tab is a different compare with using. Okay, tab, by using the tabs we can store the data, but we are storing the data in the object. Simply you can remember like that. Using the tab we can store the data by using the tab. Simply that is the difference, guys. We can store the data records, but by using the in the object. Simply you can remember like that. Okay, database simply backend database you can connect it. Generally object is used to store the fields and values data. Tab is used, okay, just tab is used to show the screens like this and to store the data, but the data will be stored in the objects in the back end. Okay, simply you can remember these 2 points. However, okay, you will get a confusion. Now one more question. So can I create more than one tab for one object? Okay, yeah, that's what I'm going to tell. Can I create more than one tab for one object? Let's try. Just see with your eyes what is happening here. I have already created one tab for student object, and I am trying to create again one more tab for this student object. Is it displaying now? No. So that means what? By seeing this one, what you understand? No, we cannot create more than one tab for one object. Okay, so that is the meaning of this one. So you can create only one tab for one object. That's it. You can remember that point. Okay, for time being these points are there are so many points you need to know going forward, but right now my intention is to explain about all these kind of things. So as of now you know how to create an object, how to create a tab in Salesforce, what are the records or data in Salesforce, what are the fields. Okay, now I want to create the remaining fields. I want to create the remaining fields and I want to store the data, not I reception peoples. Now think about this one. Suppose now I am using a Salesforce application. Okay, now you got a business. Going forward I'm going to explain about the student related, okay, institute related project guys, and the requirements will be available only in the institute project. Okay, from now onwards. So let's see what will happen. You know, from institute side marketing peoples are there and sales peoples are there, and I mean service peoples are there, whatever it may be. So it is a big institute thinking that way, and we are having a different kind of teams in the institute. Like marketing peoples will go and give the advertisements so that they are getting the students information from different mediums, and they are storing in the Excel sheet, think in that way. Now ultimately they are using Salesforce application, so they definitely store so student details so in one of the object. Okay, so they have created the requirements. Institute peoples has created the requirements, business requirements. Now who will implement this business requirements? So suppose you are working in a company, you got this project, VLR Institute is the client. One second guys, some disturbance is there, I will stop recording.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so now you are going to work in this training, right? Project. Okay, sales project. Think in that way. VLR sales operations. Just this is the project domain name. Client is what? VLR online training. And project goes to company. Which company? Think in that way, Accenture. And now you are the team. Everyone. Okay, you are developer team. And who you need to implement this one. Okay, so till admin, okay, so till at the end of the admin topics, right, you can think this is the project, okay, and this is the client, and in this company you are working. Okay, you always imagine like that. In real time it will be like this only. Now what will happen here? Let's say they have a business requirements from VLR side, business team will be there, and the business team will provide the requirements to Accenture company. That means you, and you need to implement. The first business requirement is this one. They want to store all these kind of details and these fields and everything they have created. They have given. So from Accenture team, so business team is there, like business analyst or product owner. So who will create all these kind of requirements. Now you need to pick up the requirements. You need to work on one by one. Okay. Now we have picked up one requirement, so that I have created an object and I have created a tab and all these details, right? Even label name and everything will be given by so product owner or business analyst. If they have not provided these names, so you can just create it and check with the team. Generally that will happen in real time. Okay, this is the dummy data which you have created. Okay, now the next requirement is like you need to so create the remaining fields also. Let's create the remaining fields. So next, so why? Because so who will use this? Who are the end users for this one, guys? End users. These are the terminology or technical names you need to remember. End users and sales peoples from VLR training. Sales people. So generally, who are the sales people or service people? Generally, we can call it as a receptions here. Okay, receptionists. For time being, you can call them as a receptionist. There is no separate sales team. There is no separate marketing team. Generally, receptionists are sales team. Generally. Okay. So now receptionists, right? They need to provide enter all the student details also. Okay, so they are asking to create a city, phone, all these details, so that they can store the student details. So now where I need to create the field. Okay, so next is what? Creating a field. Column in Salesforce. So creating a field in column in Salesforce, right? Again, it is a configuration thing. So it is a configuration thing. So where I need to go? Generally, configuration things means I need to go to setup. So click on setup, and where I need to create the field. Where, in which object? Generally, fields will be created to a particular object. Remember, fields will be created to a particular object. So you need to go to object. You cannot search any fields here directly. You can see here. Okay. So fields are related to objects only. Every field you are seeing, so it is related to object. These are all objects. Okay. So what you need to do is you cannot create a fields from setup. So you need to go to object. In which object you need to create a fields? Let's see. Go to objects, plain objects, click on it. Okay, here go to student object. In this object I want to create the fields. Okay, now you can see. So here custom fields relationships are there, right? So here only you can create the fields. Okay, so these are the fields which are already created by Salesforce. These are called standard fields. Now you are going to create a fields, right, as per your business requirements. So you need to click on the new button. And what is the field? Copy it, city. Okay, now so before creating the field, you need to select the type. It's called data type. Okay, why we use data type? So now I will explain to you. So what is this data type, right? You need to select one of the data type. So let's say here what data you are entering. What data you are entering? What data? This is what? Some text. Okay, it is some text. City means some text. So generally text means some words, characters, whatever it may be called, some text. So generally if you want to store this kind of data in that field, if you want to store this kind of data in that field, so generally you need to select that kind of data type. Okay, let's see here. So text I want to store. So if you want to store text, right, here you need to select text data type. Based on which data you are storing, you need to select the data type. Okay, let's say what is the data type. Based on which data you want to store, select the data type. Data type will be used to tell which type of data you want to store generally. Okay, so you can remember like which type of data I want to store, so that I can select the data type. Okay, now I want to store some text, so I can select the text data type. Understand it? Okay, so going forward you will see everything. Now I have selected the data type here. Checkbox, radio button. Okay, this is the radio button I have selected. Next, click on the next button. Okay, now you can enter the data. So what is the field name I want to store? City. Copy the city, and here label name you can provide city, and click on it. Once I click on outside, automatically this name is taken. And length. So what is the length? So length means value length. This value is there, right? What value I want to enter? Suppose Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, like that. So maximum length. So let's see here. Suppose Hyderabad I have entered. What is the length of this one? Character length. Length means character length. So what is the length of this Hyderabad character length? 1 word, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 characters are there. So the length is 9. Suppose I want to store HYD like 3. So what is the length now? 3. So this is the length, character length, each word. Okay, calculate. This is the length. So maximum, see, suppose while we are designing, right, how much length you want to store. So now I want to store only 3. Think in that way. Okay, 3. Keep it like this. I will tell you. I will come back and I will tell you. And now skip everything. Don't think everything here. We will see going forward one by one. And click on the next button. And again I mentioned you, right, profiles and applications, everything, these are the different topics. At that time I will come back and I will explain again. Skip everything, even don't think about this one, just skip it. Click on the next button until you save. Just save. Once you save, see the save button, just click on it. Until then, next, like that you can click it. Now I have created one field, a custom field called city, label name, and for each field an API name will be there. So generally, as I mentioned, what is the benefit of the API name? API names are used in coding. Okay, API names are using in coding. Remember the point. Okay, now the data type is text and length is 3. So keep this one. Now let's go back to Ushas and Shankar and update the details. Now I have created the city field. As a developer, I have created. Now who we can do? Let's go to receptions. Now open the Shankar details, receptionists, and go to Shankar details, and you can see the field which is added here. Okay, in the object the field is added. So just a tab is used to display all these kind of things. Okay, I have created one field, you can see. So city field that is displaying over here. Okay, and now what it is displaying? Label name. It is displaying label name. Label name is used to display in the pages like this, records. And you are not seeing API name. See here, API name is underscore underscores. You are not seeing it. You are seeing only label names. Even here also you are seeing only label names. Object name, you can see label name. That is the object name you can see here. Okay, label names we can see on the records like this. Now I want to enter city for Shankar. What is the city for Shankar? Bangalore, right? Okay, go back, edit this one, and Bangalore, right? Let's see, Bangalore, BAN. I am trying to enter. See here, I am trying to enter some details, but I am unable to do. Why? Why? Because let's refresh this one, and you can see here. What is the character length I have provided here? Edit it. And what is the character length I have provided here? 3. So more than 3, I am unable to enter the data. More than 3 letters, I am unable to add. I am trying to add, see here, but I am unable to because I have configured here 3. That is the length of that value. That is the benefit of this one. Suppose now I have updated to 5 and let's save it. Okay, now you can see the field here and the character length is 5. Up to 5 I can update it. So you can refresh this page and now you can enter BA bang 5 characters only. More than 5 characters you cannot enter again. Okay, so that is the benefit. Now the business team already know how many characters they want to enter. So you can edit the field. You can see here edit, and so generally we can give 18 characters. City names, right? More than 18, so city names will not be there. So 18 I can give and save it. So now I have updated the field. See here, I have updated the field. Length is 18, so I can go with character length. Refresh it again. So either to refresh, right, go to the URL, click on the enter button, or you can see here refresh button. Non-IT guys, this is the refresh the page. So click on the reload page, and now page is Bangalore. Okay, save it. For Shankar, so location is Bangalore, and I have stored. And now I want to update Usha's details also. So click on this one, students, and go to Usha, and you can see city is displaying, and click on the edit button, and now Hyderabad. Okay, save it. Okay, now I have updated all the details. So see here, left side field, right side value, left side field, right side value. This is how it will store. But in Excel sheet, how it will be? So field means columns. Here displaying at the top side, and values are displaying like this. But in Salesforce, left and right, it will display left and right. This is one record. So the whole Osha's record, this is a Osha's record, one record. So click on, these are 2 records. This is Osha's record, this is Shankar's record.
Mohan garu,
Yeah,
one doubt.
yeah.
Is there any specific difference between field and label in Salesforce?
Field is label. Yeah, actually, field, what is that one?
Field and label.
See here, for field only you are providing
Field
label.
name only.
Remember. One second. What is that one? Now ask the question. For
See,
field only
is
you
there
are
a
giving the
specific?
label,
Okay.
the name and API name, everything. For field only you are giving.
Okay.
Okay.
Here field name and field label are same, huh?
No. Okay. So both are different. Okay. Both are different. Field name is a medium. Okay. So based on the field name only, your Salesforce is constructing the API name. So these are separate topics again. Okay. I will tell you going forward.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
API
fine.
name, how the API name is created is totally based on the field name only. Okay. So in going
Okay.
forward, in one example, here in this example, you can see the difference. Okay. In this bank details, you can see the difference between the field name and the label name and API name. Okay. Until then,
Okay.
so I will explain these two.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions?
సార్ మనం క్రియేట్ చేసిన ట్యాబ్ యాప్ స్పెసిఫిక్ ఉండదా? అన్ని యాప్స్ లోనే చూపిస్తుంది కదా?
యాప్ స్పెసిఫిక్ ఉంటది, బట్ నెక్స్ట్ క్లిక్ చేస్తున్నాను చూసావా, నేను స్కిప్ చేయండి నెక్స్ట్ అని, అక్కడ మొత్తం ఆల్రెడీ ఆ స్కిప్ లోనే మొత్తం ఆల్రెడీ అన్ని చెక్ అయ్యి ఉంటాయి అన్నిటికీ, అన్ని యాప్స్ కి. అవి మీకు ఇప్పుడు తర్వాత చూపిస్తాను మళ్ళీ.
ఓకే సార్.
Any other questions? ఇంకొక 2 days లో మీకు ఒక క్లారిటీ మొత్తం క్లియర్ పిక్చర్ వస్తుంది. అప్పుడు దాకా ఏంటంటే ఏదో ఒక కన్ఫ్యూజన్, లిటిల్ బిట్ కన్ఫ్యూజన్ లాగే ఉంటుంది అంతా. ఓకే, no questions? Okay, so now our receptions are able to create, so I mean data, they are able to enter the city also. Now what we need to do, other requirements are there, right? You need to implement another requirement, you need to create a phone field also. Okay, so phone field, on which object you need to create. Now you understand, right? A field means, what is the field? We can create a field for a particular object. Field is used to store the data value, that's it. Why we are creating a field? Used to store the value. These values are we are storing in the field. All these fields are represented for one object. Okay, all these fields are available for one object, and each value, okay, will be stored in each field. Okay, so group of fields are nothing but, group of fields and values are nothing but one object, think like that way, and each value will be stored in each field. Fields are used to store the values, and object is used to store all the fields and values like that. Okay, so that's how you can remember easily. Next we can create one more field, so called phone number field, where I need to go. Suppose if I am here, I need to go to object, so click on setup and search for objects, and there are other shortcuts also there to go. So after 2 to 3 days I will explain everything. So click on objects, okay, and go to click on the link of this student object and create one more field, and I need to go to, so this custom fields section, so you can click on it, new button, and I can create. So now I need to select the data type. Here so many data types are there, right? So now let's see, before selecting the data type you need to think what data you are entering into the field, what data business wants to store in this column. Phone, that means phone data. So now is there any phone data type? To select this one, yes, here you can see phone data type. If you want to store any mobile phone numbers and anything, you need to select the phone data type. Okay, use it to store the phone numbers, mobile numbers like that. Next, click on the next button, and now you can provide the label name. So what is the label name you can give? So now I will show you the difference between the field name and value, don't worry. Student
సార్
phone.
అన్ని ఒకేసారి సెలెక్ట్ చేయకూడదండి, ఈమెయిల్ ఫోన్ అట్లాగన్నీ ఒకేసారి?
లేదు లేదు లేదు, ఇక్కడ 1 by 1 ఇక్కడ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి. Okay, so for your previous question someone asked, right, what is the difference between the name and AP field label name and the field name, right? Now you can see the difference between that one. Okay, so you see here I have provided a space between the student to phone, student phone, but in field name how the Salesforce is taking underscore. Let's remove underscore and try to provide the space and try to click on the next button. So what is this error? Field name should not take gaps. Okay, should not take the space, so the spaces can be covered with underscore. That is the difference between the field label name and field name. Now what is the benefit of the field name? We will see. Okay, this is the difference. If you provide any space in the field label name, that will be covered with underscore in field name. Okay, and forget about all these things, we will see going forward, and click on the next button. Okay, and now you can skip all this, next, and one, okay, click on the save button. That's it. Okay, now you can see here second field we have created student phone, and what is the API name? So open this field name, click on this one. Now you see the difference between the field name to actually API name and field label name. Field label name contains spaces also. It will allow spaces, but field name cannot allow spaces. And what is the benefit of the field name? So let's see here. API name you can observe, then only you can understand the field name benefit. What is the API name? This is the field name plus underscore underscore C. Okay, what is the API name? How Salesforce built API name? How they can prepare API name? Field name, API name is equal to field name plus underscore underscore C. So here you can see in this example, what is the field name here? Student. Okay, so plus means underscore underscore C, right? Concatenate plus. Okay, and finally student phone underscore underscore C. Plus means C, concatenation is called. We need to remove this one and student phone underscore underscore C. Okay, you can see here. So field name is used to create a API name. Okay, API names are created based on the field name only. At the end of the field name, Salesforce will provide underscore underscore C. Okay, at the end of the field name, Salesforce will provide underscore add underscore underscore C. That's how the API name will be created. Now is it clear? What is the difference between the field name, API name and label name? Okay. Now API names are used in coding and the label names are used here. Okay, where so in the records. Now I have created one more field now, so I updated. So business, right? Business, go here, students, and they can update the details. So what is the one? Label name, student phone number. That is a label name. Okay, so let's see here. 1 second. Go to student phone, and now you can see the label name. So student phone is the label name, and you can see, so field label name is used to display. That's what I said. Okay, field label name, and this API name is used for coding. Again, I'm showing. I'm going very slowly at starting, guys. Don't worry. Even if you get bored, right? So keep like that, going forward, right? So you can see the, I mean, all other things also. Student phone basics are very, very important. That's what I'm explaining everything. And now this is Osha's record, right? So what is the phone number for Osha? 897. The meaning, provide this one and save it and go to, so Shankar, and student phone for Shankar, copy the phone number and edit it and save it. Okay, that's it. 2 records we have updated. Done. Good. Next. So we have created 2 fields and tested it is working fine. Next, we need to create an email. Okay, so again I want to create a new field called email. So where I need to go? I need to go to the object and I need to create a field. Again, what is the standard navigation? You need to remember the navigation, guys. Why I am saving all these kind of things are you need to remember in your brain. Okay, so I want to create a new field. So again, you need to go to setup, search for objects. Okay, so you can go here, this object, and go to student object and come down. Okay, so here you can see here you can go and create one more field. Okay, and now if you want to create a field, you need to select the data type. So with related to email data, if you want to store, so check any email data type is there or not. So here email data type is there, so select the email data type and click on the next button. And now, so you can store email means student email or whatever it may be, student email. Okay, space you have given in the label, but in the field name space will not be taken. Underscore is there, you can see the underscore here. Okay, and click on the next button. Okay, skip this one. Next, finally save it. Okay, and now you can see we have created third field called student email, and API name is what? For field name
సార్
underscore C. Yeah,
టెక్స్ట్ డేటా టైప్ పెట్టి మనం ఈమెయిల్ ఎంటర్ చేయకూడదు సార్?
చేయొచ్చు. ఓకే, చేయొచ్చు, నో ప్రాబ్లం. బట్ జనరల్లీ ఈమెయిల్ ఇచ్చారు కదా, ఈమెయిల్ డేటా టైప్, సో దాని పర్పస్ కి మనం వాడుకోవాలి. సో టెక్స్ట్ కి ఈమెయిల్ కి తేడా ఇక్కడ వస్తుంది, రికార్డ్ మీద వస్తుంది మీకు. ఓకే,
ఓకే సార్.
సో నౌ I have created email field. Okay, third field done. Now I want to enter the data for Osha's and Shankar's data. I can go here, right click and open the link. That's it. And now go to Shankar and edit this one. One second. You can ask. Let me finish this one. So you are in what? Shankar's data, right? So one second. Copy Shankar email and provide this email. Okay, and try to save it. Okay, now it is email. How they have given a link is added. If it is a text, a link will not be added. Okay, that is one thing you need to remember. And go to next record, Osha's record. Okay, and copy this one and edit this one. Okay, what is this one? Invalid email address. So for your question, okay, this is the answer. Why don't I select a text instead of email? Yes, of course you can select a text. Okay, not a problem, but text will not throw error. It will not validate whether it is a proper, the email is in a proper format or not. But email data type can validate it. See, it is an invalid email address. You should definitely give @ like this, and also check it here. Again, invalid email address. At least you can give anything, Outlook or anything company.com, like that. Even Outlook I have given. Let's see here. Again, it is invalid. So how it is checking? Okay, see here. It is checking whether it is it is having a proper format or not. Now you get it right. Whoever asked the question, why don't I select the text instead of email?
Yes sir, yes sir.
This is the reason you need to select an email. Okay, yeah, now someone is asking some question, right? You can ask now.
Yes, sir. Can we go back to object detail page?
Okay,
so the singular label, sorry, we can go up there. The singular label represents one.
okay,
So the field label is what you see on user interface. The field name is the where your API name is actually created from the field name. But other than that, you don't have any use for field name.
yes, other than that there is no use.
Okay, my other question is, when you go to the object, you have singular label, you have plural label. The plural label is the one which you have the tab. The tab
Exactly.
is, and then singular label is just for user interface.
Exactly, here you are seeing, right?
Okay, so you use the API name just for the coding.
Exactly.
And then
This
API
is just for the
coming from the plural label or singular label?
object name.
Okay.
These all the things, right? I will explain again going forward.
Okay.
Actually, I have just explained how to create an object. So going forward, every bit of these topics, right, will be covered.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So you will you describe? Will you also explain about the description of this allow bulk API access and allow streaming?
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so not few of them, but So what are the important checkboxes are there, right? All those important checkboxes I will explain. The remaining things we don't use, so we don't, I mean, we can skip those things. Okay. You are Jessica, right?
Me? No, I'm Sarah. Sir.
Sana. Okay. 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 So you get point, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Next. Okay. So now, so for today, this is enough to create 3 fields. Okay, for today, so this is enough. The remaining fields we can create in tomorrow class. But before finishing this one, I want to explain one thing. So when you create an object, right? So what is this page? The whole page called object detail page. Object detail page. You need to remember all these names, guys. When you create a page, object, and the page will be called object detail page. This is the name. So that means what? We are seeing all the details with respect to that object. It is displaying object details. That is the reason we are calling it as a object detail page. You need to remember the name. And now when you are creating the record, let's see here, this record, the name of this record is what? Record detail page. Okay, this is a record detail page. You can see which record, student record details we are entering here. This is the record detail page and this is object detail page. You need to remember the two terminologies, guys. So because I'm going to use these terminologies going forward, that is the reason I'm just giving the names now itself. Okay, object detail page and record detail page. So for today this is enough. Just a recap, guys, what we have discussed in today class. Let's see here. So I have compared with Excel sheet or SQL objects with the Salesforce object. So generally object is a space. By using the object, we can create a fields, we can store fields and values. That is a benefit of the object. And now next, so same kind of thing, if I want to store in the Salesforce, what I need to do, for one object I need to create a tab, and after that one, for columns I need to create a fields. Instead of columns, here fields are there. So object is used to store the fields and values, you can think. And after that one, I need to create a tab. Okay, so tab is used to allow us to enter the data. Just with the help of tab only, we are entering the data. So that is the benefit of the tab. Okay, and so after that we have seen fields. What are the fields? Like we have created few fields. Okay, and called custom fields. Going forward, we will see what is the difference between the standard fields and custom fields also. And while creating a field, we are seeing all the details, like which data type we need to select. So see here, data type. Based on what data you are entering, you need to select the data type. And for which, so field is used to store the value. Field is used to store the value. See here, in the field only we are storing the value. Okay, that is the benefit of the field. And next, while creating fields, right, we are entering the label name. Label names are used just to display it, and API names are used in coding. You can remember like that. And the remaining few of the things, right, we will see going forward. And the length we have already seen, character length. Okay, and the group of fields is nothing but an object, simply you can say. So, and this is a record detail page. And if you go to object, once you created, this is the object detail page. Here we are seeing the details of the particular object. Here we are seeing the details of the particular record. That is the reason it is a record detail page, and that is a object detail page. Okay, so that's all for today class, guys. And from tomorrow onwards, Thursday, right, so you can have 2 classes per day. And by Friday, I think so, I hope everyone will get a clear picture about the objects, standard objects, custom objects, tabs, and all the things. I think by Friday. Yes, exactly. So tomorrow 2 classes and Friday 2 classes, so totally 4 classes, right? At that time you get a clear picture. Even as of now you have a little bit doubts, right? Those will be cleared, okay, at the end of the Friday.
So
And
tomorrow
guys, so who doesn't paid still now, right? So you can please pay that amount. So yeah, and any doubts, let me know.